that is the moment that it clicked for me. Like, we are doing the same shit, expecting different results. You get me? We are electing the same leaders. And I was thinking of the points of this can sound really hard. Remove all these leaders.
During Twitter, the space by Otero, you can hear the anger, the hurt, the betrayal. You can feel it, like if you're hearing the whole place, it was like a fuck you. Like everyone is starting their statement with fuck you. So I don't know what the government will do, but they need to listen to the people. Even if it means holding a national dialogue. Okay. Let's dissect the president for a bit and his political journey. He grew up and he learned his politics through the second president of the country, President Moi. So in his political style or style of governance and leadership must have elements of Moi. People are learned. People do not want to do that. The Gen Z are learned. The president is coming now with the previous tactics of President Moi. They're not going to work in the Gen Z.
That's so true. That's so true, man. Yeah. That's why I'm saying, what is the end result of what's happening at the moment? We change the bill. Let's say that happens. Okay? We go to the streets. We demand the bill to be removed. Everything happens right. The bill is removed. Still, our fund will be misused. The revenues that's collected will be misused. Okay? Leaders will be making the wrong decisions, including leaders from Northeastern, who will just be voting yes to what the government will say. And that is really unfortunate. And now, where I'm coming to, Manze, what is the end goal? There should be a result that is favorable for the citizen, Manze.
Agenda moja muhimu sana yenye nafanyika leo, bro. Hata ilahi bakukana wallahi marita. I was listening to spaces, nimesikiza space ya Osama Otero. Yeah, it had like the whole country was listening. And he played the adhan while the whole country was listening. That was Billy was freed, crazy Nairobian. I met the crazy Nairobian on the street to demonstrate. Napata. And they played the adhan to like the whole 30-something thousand viewers were live at the same time. And everyone in the country had. This is coming on a backdrop of Jamia Mosque helping out the protesters. And there's the reject finance bill going on, bro. Well, where's your head? Akili yako iko wapi? What is the one thought that is coming over and over again to you?
Meaning reject the bill. We start from there. I'm no expert in that field anyway. But we have to reject the bill because it's not conversant with what we expected from the current government. That is number one. The president has been preaching otherwise when he was coming into power. That alone should tell you to avoid it, because this guy was the same guy who was telling us things will go down in terms of prices, the economy will improve, overtaxation will not be there, money will be used wisely.
There's no dynasty.
Yeah, there will be no dynasty. Alikuwa na preach hizo stuff zote, and manze, that's gone instantly.
Yeah.
Okay? Now instantly it's more taxation, what can I say, more government requiring more and more from the people. What we lacked, and I thought the president alikuwa naiona, ilikuwa funds not being used in the right way. And we were expecting him to come in and streamline all the arms of the government so that the funds are used in the right way. But guess what? That's not the case. He wants more.
He wants more.
More doesn't mean a solution.
More. Yeah, more. But more does not mean a solution, considering how you have been spending your money.
Yeah.
Marita. And well, the key highlights I got from listening to that Twitter space was the government expenditure is too high, and it's being spent in areas that are of no use to Kenyans. Someone spoke of 700 million shillings for, I don't know, a project. We've not seen any project by the Ruto government yet. Like how Raila, and he said, you see how you can attach Linda Mama to Mama Margaret. You cannot attach Mama Rachel to anything. So Mama Rachel, the only thing we can attach her to is prayers. And as a country, he says, which is true, we got taxed. Our tax was used to make a
unnecessary
a countrywide prayer day to a pastor who was even from abroad. But regardless, we still need to find something Mama Rachel can pioneer. And this bill is taking out Linda Mama, an initiative by the former Nona.
Yeah.
All that said, bro, you as a healthcare worker, again.
I mean, what I feel is that thing. These mismanagements of funds. Okay? We are not using funds in the appropriate way. That has to be controlled. More taxation, more generation of income for the government doesn't mean the people who are looting the government will stop looting the government.
Yeah.
Okay? Money spent on the wrong agendas, on the wrong platform, will not mean that if they get more, they will stop using more. They will use more.
They'll use more.
Yeah. So what I expected from the government, I voted for this government, is for them.
A constituency yako ilikuwa ni gani?
Yeah, Garissa.
MP alivote?
Yeah.
Alivote gani?
The government, the standing government.
Okay.
So I'm really ashamed to say so. But the unfortunate part is we are expecting the government to, control corruption in the country, see where unnecessary projects are being done, and then we cover that. Handle the county governments right, make them be accountable for the funds that they are given. Man, there's so much money in Endakwa county government, yet the national government cannot put the county government to accountability, or even the judiciary, or even the anti-corruption. They can't do nothing. Where I come from is pathetic. The leadership of the county government is pathetic, to say the least. But again, hakuna kitu anaweza fanywa,
Hakuna kitu anaweza fanywa.
Now, I expected the president to come with initiatives that will make sure easy funds zinatumika the right way, manze.
But so far you're feeling let down. What from a Gen Z perspective, because Gen Z has been mentioned a lot in this protest.
Yeah.
As a Gen Z healthcare worker, how are you what is your thought process? How are you feeling?
This is not, to start with, it's not something for only the Gen Zs. It's something for every generation. If you are the older generation, the millennials and, going up, and you messed up, time to make things right.
Time to make things right.
Yes. If you're, Gen Z and the rest.
That's why Andrew Kibi has apologized, and he has said he's joining the movement.
Yeah.
But it's not even about joining the movement, bro. Even when you join the movement, sometimes the government will say we have heard, but have they really heard what the issue is? Because it is the Gen Z people, the Gen Z that decided, I have the numbers, the data from the people who are coming in who are injured. That was giving us an average data of the age of the people who are coming. The oldest person we treated was a 45-year-old.
Yeah, to come to put this clearly to people who are listening, you mean when you were at the camp?
At the medical camp.
Yeah, where you guys were treating patients who were coming in.
Yeah.
Medics all over the country came over.
Samad should have been here. He's going to come and we're shooting a podcast with him. But in Twanini, the Gen Z, the number rather, the age group, the oldest was 45, the youngest was a 19-year-old. And the people who are being injured the most are 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, up to like 33. That was the biggest age bracket. And if you're looking at this from you as a member of that bracket and as a professional inside that bracket, and add on top of it, as a Somali youth from Garissa on that bracket.
Yeah.
Do you think like this government is actually hearing you, like your needs?
The thing is, we voted the current government, including the president, in the hope of change, because yani country yetu ilikuwa in a place where iko messy sana. Yes, we saw him as the hope to, you know, bring this country back to life, literally. But again, what we forgot is this guy has been in the government since I don't know when.
Since he was in his 20s.
And every other politician, except a few. That is the moment that it clicked for me. Like, we are doing the same shit, expecting different results. You get me? We are electing the same leaders. And I was thinking of the points of this can sound really hard. Remove all these leaders.
Okay.
The revolution, let this be a complete revolution. I mean...
Are you able to handle a complete revolution?
Liberation.
I don't think you're able to handle a complete revolution or a liberation.
That is... Why are you curbing yourself? If people will die, if people will go to the streets, if this thing will go on, why should it be about one
Look at it also from a financial perspective. Because, you know, when people think like revolution, doesn't mean it's going to happen tomorrow. Yeah, you're going to dissolve government and then what? Do you know, like, if you dissolve government, there's a lot of people are thinking of what next immediately after that. Who's going to come in? Because it's a country, it needs law and order, it needs everything running, it's a system. Are you going to hand over the power to the military? And if you do, will the military give you back the power? We are in Africa, bro.
The thing is, I still feel that having the mindset of you're already put into a place whereby without this nothing works.
Before that happens, you need money for IBC registrations and voting. We need to go to consistencies, all of that. Do we have the money to do that, considering the current circumstances we are in? Because it's true when the president says our debt level are very high. You know, sometimes in my head, I'm like, I wonder why does the president travel a lot? And the one excuse I can get for him is he's looking for funds.
He's lobbying for funds.
He's lobbying for funds.
Funds to be misused.
It's just unfortunately they are misused. Unfortunately they're misused. But the energy, the emotions of the people, you can feel even when you're hearing Twitter, the space by Otero, you can hear the anger, the hurt, the betrayal. You can feel it. You know, like, I'm surprised. I'm like, the people who were speaking were from our age, above the Gen Z generation, Gen X, millennials, yeah. And the millennials were, it's like they were holding on to years and years and years of aggression. And this is the time now they are like telling the government, because if you're hearing the whole place, it was like a fuck you. You know, like everyone is starting their statement with fuck you. So I don't know what the government will do, but they need to listen to the people. Even if it means holding a national dialogue.
Okay. Two options. They listen to the people and actually start doing what's best for the people, and themselves decide to change the systems. Decide to make sure revenues are used in the right way. All arms of the government are working in the right way. We have senior lawyers like Ahmad Nasir complaining about the judiciary being messy, being corrupt.
He was among the vocal supporters of the president.
Yeah. Complaining about the arm of the judiciary arm of the government being corrupt. I mean, let's try to streamline every sector. Okay? If they are not ready to do that, the other option is total overhaul of the government, revolution. There is no other option. Otherwise, we will come back to the same place where we are right now. We elected a government, same politicians with a different face, in the hope that they will make a change. Where is the change? Has it occurred?
Let me tell you what kind of things you're making me think. So you've said the people who we are electing. If you look at the president, let's dissect the president for a bit and his political journey. He grew up and he learned his politics through the second president of the country, President Moi. So in his political style or style of governance and leadership must have elements of Moi. So how it looks when people are now having to come to look into the current situation you have been, people are complaining, mnaenda mnatoa milioni 20 kwa kanisa sadaka na hiyo milioni 20 inaweza saidia. This is Americs. Anasema hiyo milioni 20 inaweza mlipia madaktari wake for the next 10 years. Alafu hiyo milioni 20 unatoa sadaka, unasema hakuna pesa ya kuandika madaktari. Hakuna pesa ya kuandika nurses. Mnawatuma nje. People do not want to leave the country. Mnawatuma nje, mnasema we are collecting nurses, we are collecting all kinds of workers, sending them to the white people in Europe. And there they get faced with a lot of hate. This is someone who has never been in that culture. I think this is something a lot of people who go there, they usually have hard time to change and relate to. Moving from Kenya, where you never know you're a black individual, to over there, suddenly being black is a bit, and then you get the bad jobs, you get frozen in the cold, you get to become a washman, you get to become this, not good jobs. And when you're sending money, they tax you. People are learned. People do not want to do that. The Gen Z are learned. They do not want to do such kind of jobs. They want to do their own jobs at their own will, in their own country.
At their own pace.
At their own pace, on their own terms. So if the president is coming now with the previous tactics of President Moi, they're not going to work in the Gen Z.
That's so true.
That's so true.
Man. Yeah. That's why I'm saying, what is the end result of what's happening at the moment? We change the bill. Let's say that happens. Okay? We go to the streets. We demand the bill to be removed. Everything happens right. The bill is removed. Still, our fund will be misused. The revenues that's collected will be misused. Okay? Leaders will be making the wrong decisions, including leaders from Northeastern, who will just be voting yes to what the government will say. And that is really unfortunate. And now, where I'm coming to, Manze, what is the end goal? There should be a result that is favorable for the citizen, Manze. And now, imagine, that's not happening. What's the solution? That's why I'm saying this thing should go in two ways.
Okay.
People should go to the streets every now and then, hold their MPs, their governors, their MCS to accountability until, those leaders start making the right decision. They feel the right pressure. Imagine if my local MP is pressured from where I come from. Now and then, he will start making the right decision. Otherwise, he has a problem. He can't go back home.
You can't go back
He cannot
home.
even campaign.
You cannot face your own people.
So, that is one way.
Are you
that
seeing
is
how
constant pressure.
Are you seeing how the MPs are going back to their... In Kisumu, wamechoma nyumba ya MP.
That was verified.
Alivote yes. Amepelekwa coffin kwa nyumba na amechomewa nyumba.
It was verified news that happened.
I saw it on the
on TikTok.
Outside there. I don't remember exactly where I saw it, but that's what I saw.
So what I'm saying is constant pressure on the leaders until they keep on making the right choices. If that doesn't happen, remove them by whatever means. I know the Constitution doesn't provide a provision for total overhaul of the government because it involves amendment of the Constitution, impeachments and all that, if that is what it will take to liberate this country from politicians, let it be.
I don't think it can go that way. Let me tell you why.
The other option
is dangerous. It's a good way. Ideally, it's a good way for the emotions, but it's a dangerous way to go for the logical mind. Ideally, the emotion wants to go there, like, fuck all of them, let's remove all of them. But logically, you have to pull yourself back. We can't go there now.
Now, the other logic option is the one I discussed with you earlier, whereby constant pressure on the current leaders, let them make the right decision until we reach next election. And peacefully, we remove all leaders in the coming election, including the president.
There's a good thing you have said. The one thing you have said in the previous statements was accountability, pressuring them for accountability. And from my knowledge and from what I have assessed from all this that is happening now, and the reject finance bill, is how, if I put it in one word, it is accountability, guys. You guys are not accountable to your spending, you're not accountable to your expenditure, and you're requesting for more. So Kenyans are requesting accountability, number one. Then everyone who voted yes, we are coming for you. Like 2027, mnajua tu mko nje. I think that is the message Kenyans have passed across from my assessment. What do you think? What is your opinion on that?
That is perfectly
I think if
true,
it is a
and that is
logical way,
perfectly right.
Yeah.
And
now
I
you can
agree with
always
you.
answer sai kuanza kutafuta do ya kupeleka IEBC.
But the thing, what I'm saying is, I'm not advocating for that. And I'm not advocating we stop the country from doing, and we end up in some sort of liberation all over the street and the country is in mess. I'm not really advocating for that. What I'm saying is, if it takes...
If that is what it gets to, you are ready for it.
If that's what it takes to liberate this country, let it be.
This is a question I have for you. And there's a question I was planning to ask Abdisam, but then I will ask Dimbil. There's a question I'll plan for Dimbil and I'll ask him as well. Are you willing to die? Rex Kanyike died. Another boy, Maura, died at KNH because of injury to his testicles. We had a lot of major head injuries. We had a lot of cuts, a lot of lacerations. We had fractures. We had sprains,
so we
bruises.
have people who have a poor prognosis.
Yes, some people was like, okay, yeah. You know, we had live bullet injuries. We had rubber bullet injuries. It could have been any of us if you had the demonstration. Are you willing to be part of the any of us and put yourself out there?
Yeah, 100%. What I'm saying is, you can kill someone who has a revolutionary agenda, but you cannot kill the revolution.
One thing which I'm listening to, and this they are putting it out in terms of comedy, ni Wajaluo akisema si tushazoea maandamano, and the Gen Z is known as a soft people era. Are we able to know in our soft era that this is the price you have to pay? Or this is the price you might pay? My father was afraid when I told him nenda maandamano. And I would want to know how because if in the maandamano it was all young people, bro, like my buddies, my dame, wote walikuwa. Unapata, yani girls they were like, hey, hadi wako maandamano. But they unajiuliza, hey, hadi wako maandamano. People you never think of were there. Because being in several daktari maandamanos, I know who's in maandamano. So I was like, are you guys... And people are paying the price, by the way. Courage to them. People are coming in with cuts. You'd feel like young people 22, they matter wizi shanga ude manafanya nini hapa. Unapata? Anakuja amekatwa, anakuja ameumia mkono, ameteguka mguu akikimbia, unajambia wow.
Like, because nilikimbia and I ended up having a muscle pull, not because I'm unfit, but because I had a surgery recently and one of my legs is weak, so I ended up having a muscle pull. So the thing is, what I'm saying is, our fathers or people who are older than us, they have experienced the wrath of the government, and they know the backlash. They know what comes with doing this. I'm really glad that Gen Z hawaelewi hizo vitu, and that they will be in the streets, right? And that's the best people to bring about a liberation to our country. Those who don't know what the repercussions are.
Okay.
I'm not wishing bad for them, or I'm not wishing bad for us as we go to the streets. But we have to hope for the best as we do whatever we do in the streets. Yeah.
You risk it all, you put your life on the line.
You put your life on the line.
Yeah.
You hope the end result will be for the best. Yeah.
Coming now to, like, this is happening on this episode of, we're shooting this podcast on which day? 22nd of June. There is a 7-step, and if I'm to give out to information to people, is on Tuesday there will be hotline numbers. I will share with you the hotline numbers if you are injured, if you're out there and you're injured. Medics for Kenya are just young unemployed doctors showing up for like Kenyans, like wherever, when you need us, we will be there. We'll be there to take care of the injured. We'll be there to help refer the injured. We'll be there. It was very impromptu.
Imagine, think about this thing going to an extreme where every medic that's not on shift that day in a hospital shows up and try to rescue those who get injured.
Over
Imagine-
3,000 people have volunteered.
Yes. Every
How
lawyer.
many are there employed in
Every
Kenya?
lawyer.
All the lawyers were there. We were going to Supreme Court to
Yeah.
pick a gunshot wound.
I remember the case that was taken there.
Yeah.
But I'm saying every professional coming to the street to demand the changes. This government will have to bend.
And they'll bend over. You see all the fuck you was happening in space.
Yeah.
It'll now happen to them.
Yeah.
But you're very right when you say that like the professionals should take charge
This
of their
thing
own.
also that gives me headache is
Pilots are
we
called
are
out.
talking about misappropriation of funds, making sure the government uses their resources the right way, and putting people to accountability. Is there anyone who's telling the president the same, his advisors included?
Well,
I know
Ruto
Bobby
and
Uno
advise wake.
He advises advisors on how to advise him. But again, what if yes, his advisors are telling him this, he's hearing the people are saying this, yet that is not his main agenda. That's not what he's talking about. What he's talking about, pay more.
That's why
Pay
he
more
has,
for us to do more.
that is why he has to listen. That is why the professionals should come out.
Yeah.
You're very ni kweli. The lawyers have been there. The doctors have been there. The accountants have been called out today. Which other people? The pilot, aviation and industry, the engineers. I'll tell you one thing. This is something I've learned from reading about the Rwandan genocide. When they were starting out, the first people who were killed were when it was happening, the first people who were killed were the professionals. You lose a society if you have
No professionals.
Now, even the tech bros have been there. Umeona finance ya chat GPT ya finance bill. Umeona chat GPT ya understanding your rights after
Being arrested or something of that sort.
Yeah. Imagine hizo vitu ni important. So the tech, it's like a whole professionals are coming. Now we move from that side. That is one pack we had to unpackage. We are unpacking the second bit of it now. Northeastern Kenya. After that space, I moved into another space of tribalism in Northeastern Kenya. Aniga will gain like Northeastern Kumazo no learning. I think no oxon or that hagas alwood regardless patai. So you have either seen the negatives or the positives of systems that have been put in place. Tell us what kind of MPs, what kind of leaders are we having there?
Pathetic leaders. Yeah.
What are the Gen Z,
That's
the young
how-
people from Garissa talking about?
I'm glad someone like Abdulaidin, I don't know if you have seen him on Twitter, initiated the movement in Garissa, saying reject the bill and all of that. He has been putting the government of Garissa, the county government, the member of parliament, and the women rep to accountability. Way prior to the finance bill. He has been asking them, where are your funds? What are you guys doing? So I'm glad young people are coming up from Northeastern Kenya, questioning the system, questioning how things are done. And we can hopefully continue to that to a point where we don't vote the same leaders again. All I hope for is sending everyone home.
You're angry. You're like, fuck them. Why did nobody vote
why
it?
the to home? The thing is, probably this small talk that we are recording, a politician gets to listen to this. Manze, people wanna iba under your leadership. Okay? Don't you feel the guilt that comes with that? Okay? I'm talking to a politician right now, man. I want to
Talking
ask
to all of them.
Yeah. If one is listening to this
All of
talk,
them.
yeah. If one is from Garissa, let's say.
Where you're from.
Yeah. Nothing development-wise is being done in the place you were elected as a leader. People are looting the government left, right, and center, including the county government. you don't feel ashamed, you don't feel guilt, you don't feel overwhelmed by all the bad things that's happening under your leadership. And you're comfortable. Why? Did you just lost humanity? Don't you want just for your child?
Umeshikwa na 30 million Nairobi.
Unashikwa na 30 million Nairobi. And a poor mother in Garissa is dying because of a small medicine that's not on the hospital.
I will ask you a very, 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 very deep question, bro. And I will fahmin what is the difference between Aulian and Audak. But I know those are the two biggest tribes that have been mentioned when it comes to Garissa politics. At one point, one is a majority. At one point, the other is a minority. At one point, one has a leadership, one does not have a leadership. And that the politics of those two major tribes and small ones that are called corner tribes trickle down to even employment opportunities. And that you are very qualified, Dr. Adan, but you're told you cannot work in Garissa County because you are not tribe Hebel. You're not either Aulian or that. And if you're not, and if you're not both of, because if you're not both of those two, you don't even stand a chance. Apparently, so I want you to tell me, bro, what the hell is going on there?
Apparently, I'm from them.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
There's no work for me there. Not because I intend to work there in the first place. I would love to be there for my people and to give back to the society and work in an environment that I was raised. I was born in Garissa PGH. I went to...
Oh, so that it will have an closer... Imagine if you're working
Funny
there.
enough, I went to a public primary school in Garissa. That is Jaribu Primary School. I went to Garissa High School when it was made a national school. Now, I wish for the best for Garissa. But now the leaders. Sometimes I think there is the aspect of illiteracy that is there. People are illiterate. So, I want to tell you about this.
Before you say that, are they illiterate in general or they are illiterate to your needs as the Gen Z? Are they illiterate in general in terms of governance, in terms of leadership, or your specific needs? Because if just we look at it from their angle, they'll tell you they're looking at it from the perspective that people do not have water, some people do not have electricity, they're focusing on those ones. But are they
really focusing on those?
No. If I'm honest,
that's the whole thing I go back to. Even while we were talking about the national government, Kisema, the accountability aspect of it, you know, the whole thing is that we were talking about. They want more money for them to do more, while ideally they just have to control what they have. The same go back to Garissa, same old story. Boreholes, water, schools. That's what we do. That's what our people need. Are you actually doing it?
Man. I'm relating to this.
People in Badia, in outcasts of Garissa, they keep on migrating from one place to another. What happens with that, unajua? Mtoi anatolewa shule, he has to migrate with the family, go to another place. You have had the incident of where a fellow Kenyan teacher was talking about an experience he had whereby a parent knocks the door of the school, of a class, and he says, Abdi, wankatagne. Wow, why is that happening? Because idda waxay heleen meel kale oo biyo leh, meel kale oo coos leh, oo xoolaha ay geeni rabaan. Cunugii iskuul asaas looga bixinaya. Haddii ka fikir watiif meeshaas, haddii ay bohol loo yeeli lahaa, cidda accessibility plan loo hagaajin lahaa on how to cater for their animals. Cunuga school lagama bixiyaan. But guess what? Politician xukudi anaga nomad zanana waan ku gurna. Anaga ma gurna dantan gurisaniyo.
Hadarute su sheegno.
Anaga nomad zanana lugudi.
Rute su sheegna. That is not a problem only in Wajer. No, in Garissa. It is in Wajer, it is in Mandera.
It's all over in northern
Kenya. We need to call our...
We justify. We justify. That's the problem we have. قيل أو شيء هنا. That with rob في عنده. There's no boreholes. There's no traps of water. I don't know. Water reservation points. Reservoirs. Oy hagajiyan dawladda ma jirto. Abaar markay dhacdo.
Counting.
And then you start justifying. Abaar dhacday nasaacideya. biyaha markay meesha marayaan maxay u qawamayeen
and you, let me tell you, if you want to do project yasha noocaas marta, who do you need? Water engineers.
And
they are there among us.
Yes. There's so many people who go to Kenya Water, UN, so many other places who are qualified to do those work. But guess what? That will be unnecessary expenditure to the politician who want to loot this money. So it goes back to them. Garissa County need many doctors.
Please tell me about the healthcare. Tell me about the healthcare in Garissa.
They require many doctors. They require many nurses. They require many clinical officers. The workforce and the people, the ratio is not working. They have to hire doctors. They have to hire all these medical cadres. But they are not doing that because they see that as an expenditure to the politician. My friend, the money wasn't yours. The money for the devolved government
the money
was for these people.
The money is their money.
Yes. Now you wonder, someone saying we cannot hire doctors because doctors are supposed to be paid a lot of money. What are you doing with the money?
Well, bro, I was listening to this space.
Development, your roads are pathetic. You don't have water reservoirs for your nomadic people. Okay? What infrastructure are you talking about when you're saying the funds are not enough to cater for workforce and infrastructure? When you're telling me that, show me a good infrastructure. Niambie, Garissa or Wajir is the most beautiful county. The way that's being built is exceptional. That's not happening. Okay, where's your money going? To the workforce. We cannot also say Garissa have the best workforce or Wajir has the best workforce. They don't. So where is the money going? To politicians. Wanashikwa na Nairobi 30 million. Aje bro.
What are you doing with public money in your house?
In your house. Unfortunate.
Now, today, after Kando na hiyo space, which again, I tell you that the biggest emotion that I have learned from there is anger and that politicians need to be accountable. Those are two important things I have learned from there. Now we are in the scope of Northeastern. Kuna jamaa anaitwa Ten Hag. I don't know ni wa Mandera. We'll show the picture tuone kama ni Ten Hag kweli. But kuna jamaa anaitwa Ten Hag. I didn't even know this guy.
But anaitwa Ten Hag.
Anafanya Ten Hag.
Okay.
But huyu jamaa alivote yes. So people were kweli mabeshte nilikuwa nao wanasema watashuka na yeye. Na pia kuna daktari kutoka Mandera anaitwa Abdaz, Dr. Abdaz. Alimcall out on Twitter, alimwambia ni aje. We hata healthcare yetu ya Mandera haiko fiti, we uko hapo unasema yes, unasema tukatiwe more taxes. So all this information and emotions I'm learning from my people is we are angry. The fact that the opportunities are there. We can be able to address the needs of our people. You know? But you're blocking us by one, tribal allocations of jobs, and by two, misappropriation of money meant for projects. So imagine if you are to build reservoirs for rain harvesting for Mandera, Wajir, and Garissa. Okay. Build the bridge well. Because people are warned about this is going to happen. And people in Garissa know that every time it floods, the riverbanks break. And people have to move. So we have to also do civic education for these people and telling them, you guys, if you have land here, move. We will help you move as the county government of Garissa. Relocate it to another facility. Another place.
Do you think a county government?
The money will go somewhere else.
The county government that failed to hire a professional to serve the people will go to a mile or will go to an extra step where they want to do civic education for the people.
For projects that benefit them, yeah.
All the siday isku saarantaa loo kala qaadaa. You have to lift the top one
before you lift the bottom
yes.
one.
Now dadka gaaris meel la guurinayo markay biyaha soo galaan dhakhtar saacideeyo ama naas ama clinical officer oo shaqo meesha ka qabto or locally based, not even in the hospital, a health center or an outpost ka shaqeeyo oo dadka markay biyaha soo galaan communicable diseases waxyaalo badan iska dhacaan soo maha ka caawiyo ma lahan. Do you think dadka wax la bari? Priority waxay ahayd in dadka la caawiyo soo maha
priority, that is the priority.
Baritaankooda inta la gaarinba
su'aal kale baa ku haya. miyaad u malaysaa inaa maxaa la dhahaa anaka dhalinyarada Soomaalida Kenya ku nool waliba kuwan Kenya ku dhashtay ina anaka bedeli karno mindsetka maxaa la dhahaa our leaders in terms of what they should do for us and that they're not listening to us, the Gen Z, the young people?
That's why we mentioned the point where constant pressure on the leaders at the grassroots level.
Also having one thing in mind, that as the Somali population, we listen to elders a lot.
That is true.
It's good to listen to elders, but it also has its downsides. An elder will tell us of the experiences based on their past, and their past times are gone.
Traumatized
past. But they have learned from experience. But who the best student is the one who learns from the experience of
an experienced person.
So, while consulting our elders, let us consult also our juniors as well.
Yeah.
Because they are the middle people, are the ones who are in the leadership. They should not neglect our juniors because they could help them up scale alnesa. So that is one thing I'll tell the people. And what of tribalism, bro? What do we do about it, especially as Somali?
Wallahi, it's something that's really bad, and it's rooted with the illiteracy and the aspect of the nomadic life of the Somalis. And our deen is really open about that. Okay, our religion. We have tribes and clans so that we know each other. That is the whole purpose of it. You know my lineage. You know the type of family I come from. You know what
You get to know each other better.
Yes, we get to know each other better. But not to segregate each other. Yeah. Not to, use it to propagate politics, which is what happens. It's very unfortunate. And it's my hope that with Gen Z and the younger millennials can take a decision about this and decide, you know what, 2027, Garissa, we are voting a young person, we are voting him based on what he has done for the society
very,
and what plan he has.
Let us give flowers to the young member of parliament from Garissa.
Yeah, Khair Harun, I'm really proud of her. I've worked with her before closely in an organization. And I'm really proud of her for standing with Gen Zs, despite the pressure from the government to the MPs. It's very unfortunate, our MPs, who come from both the side of the government and the opposition, all of them voted along the same line. So everyone expected
apart from a honorable few.
Yeah. Khair to vote the same, but she didn't do that. She stood her grounds despite the repercussions she will face politically. She's a young aspiring MP and she probably has hopes in politics. At a younger stage, her standing on her ground and deciding, I'm saying no to the government. I'm really proud of her.
It takes a lot of courage to stand up. But I think it's being true to who you are and being true to yourself and actually listening to the people. That is leadership.
Yeah. Okay. The thing is, our leaders will justify as to why they voted yes. The question I always have is, you can have any reason as to why you did what you did. Sawa? Bona ulifanya kenye ulifanya. Utakuwa na sababu. Always. But the hard question is, bona haujafanya kenye haujafanya. You get my point?
Umesema you will always have a reason to justify your actions.
Your actions.
But you'll never have a reason as to why
you have not chosen the other option. If it's A, and I ask you now, I give you an option A and B, and you select A.
Let me put myself in an MP shoe. Okay? So as an MP, I'm in a position to be able to represent the voice of my people, my constituent. And if my constituent were all telling me, reject the finance bill, but I have read the finance bill. I'm trying to look at this in the case of Farah Maalim. He's one of the Somali leaders in Kenya. He has been in the ODM, he's in the Azimio, the opposition. He was. I'm not sure if he's still there now, because Wiper Party, they are calling him back. So he was in Azimio. He still voted yes for the finance bill. People in his constituency were probably telling him no. From his position, or from his understanding of the finance bill, was he seeing something that we are not seeing?
That is, Yani, he's one of the exceptional leaders from northeastern Kenya. He's very vocal. He has worked with the government and several other governments before. Okay, you can say, he's seeing something from a perspective that we are not seeing from. But there is the law of majority. Okay, I wonder why will he align himself with the government, the same government he has been criticizing, by the way. So I wonder why. Those are really hard questions to answer. Some people will say, amenunuliwa, but I don't want from my heart. I don't want to assume that. Yeah, that's what people will say, right? Amenunuliwa, but that's something I can't make myself believe. Okay, anything is possible with human, but again, I don't want to believe that because of the amazing person he is and what he has done for the society.
That he has been bought.
Yeah. And I hope he comes open about it
and tells
as to why he made the decisions he made.
Do that.
And if he regrets it, or if he finds it, good for the people of...
So now here comes my question for the MPs. To the ones who voted yes when your people are telling you no, are you choosing to listen to your own voice, or you're choosing to listen to the voice of the people?
That is again another hard thing to answer, because you have to draw a line between what you feel right and what the majority wants. And as a leader, you always have to align with the majority,
regardless of
what you feel professionally, regardless of what you feel it's right.
That brought me to where I wanted to say. So now the Somali boy in me, who has always been traumatized by being called names, that way waria, way hivi, unapata, and then to terrorist, to baharia, to what. Now I'm at a position where President Kenyatta was taking us to the China, and President Ruto is taking us to the West. I have learned a lot from it. Any country that accepts the USA inside them to come be part of USA or joins USA politics, nothing good comes out of it.
That is true.
Nothing good comes. Like the effects of what USA did in Somalia, bro, it reached me in Kenya. Okay. And the president has decided to take a side between USA, Ukraine, Russia. We were usually impartial. We never.
I was actually proud of Kenyans.
We had never taken a side. Yeah,
we never take a side. We see things as they are, and
we let them be. Now the president has brought us to the NATO allied team. I don't know what the repercussions would be, but I'm scared, man. Honestly. Because I know, history is a very good teacher. Like we said, we learn from experience of others. I've looked at all the countries where USA came in or affiliated with USA, propaganda. Nothing good came out of it. Are we going to the right side? Should we go back and also question our foreign policies? Are we well represented in our foreign policies? Are we well represented in developments as the Gen Z? Because when President went to talk about the Ukraine thing, people were actually tweeting like, oh no, we're with the Russian embassy. Please do not listen to the president. Unapata? So, like, we are not represented well. We feel like you're not being
The
represented.
majority is being neglected. The view of the majority is being neglected.
And we are being led by the view of the politician who thinks or who feels, from my experience,
He knows more.
I know more. I know more in politics, policy, and governance. So trust my leadership. You chose me, trust me. So there are two ways you can look at it. So you as an individual, where would you lie?
I will lie with the majority.
With the majority.
Yeah.
Do you think this is a moment where now we shift
Because
this in?
when we bring out what our majority believes in, we bring out our values. We bring out what we define as a society, right? And not by
What an
people who
individual.
have confirmational bias. People who have, biases in their minds. Because let me tell you one thing. As a learned person, as someone who have gone to school, there is always this thing that I fear the most, which is my thoughts and the decisions I make are influenced by the person in me who has been institutionalized for the last 12 to 18 years. I've been to school. I've been taught one thing to another. So when I'm making decision, I'm thinking, am I making this decision based on the fact that I'm human and out of experience, or even out of, what is right or wrong? Or am I choosing this thing because the past 18 years I've been to school and I've been taught things and I'm making this decision because my thought line has been changed. Kitambo.
Yeah.
You get my thought of line.
Well. I get you very well. Like your system of thought has been trained.
Yeah. Now the politicians, their system of mind have been trained by the current government, former government, international government. So their thought lines, what they feel it's right, may not be necessarily the right thing. Because for them, they have a bias in their mind. They're aligning to one thing. Okay? Anyway, we assume people are making decisions based on who they are and not who they were taught to be or who they were cultivated to be. Yeah.
On Tuesday, we will be having another camp, medical camp.
Yeah.
This time round, a cathedral in town,
It's also
a church
on
in
board.
town is on board. And people are speaking about painting the church in a bad picture, trying to divide the Gen Z among tribal lines, or trying to rather religious lines, and trying to divide the cause for this movement, the Reject Finance Bill, into divisions of the Muslims and the Christians. And from the space today, Adhan was played, and they thanked Jamia Mosque for how it helped demonstrators. On Tuesday, we are going to have another medical camp or like an emergency center set up in the cathedral and in the mosque, both of them, so that people who are trying to bring a divide in this movement know that we are not divided in any terms. All we are asking for is accountability for our wealth as a nation and for our decisions as a nation, and equal opportunities be given to people of different ages. You can't ask me to apply for a job that needs 6 years experience, and I only have 2 years experience, but I can do a better job. So equal opportunities. What is the last thing you'll tell them? Funga podcast waambie kitu.
Yeah, people should show up. People should do their best to put government and leaders to accountability. In no matter, not today, not only tomorrow, not because of this financial bill, but let's make it a routine thing at the grassroots level, at the constituency level. Leaders, the young people should hold their leaders accountable. Anytime he shows up in any event, ask him hard questions. Ask him, where is this? Where is that? Why are you here? Why should I vote you in? Instead of, him standing there anaongelea mambo na politics, yes. I was so happy juzi a certain politician akifukuzwa in a certain event. I'm like, that how should go always. If we elected you and you're not aligning with our principles, we will chase you away until we will vote you out in the next election. We will chase you away. Go earn your salary. Go loot the rest of the amount that's remaining. I hope the other arms of government holds you accountable. But if they don't, I'll still wait for next election, vote you out. Just know that. We never... Don't give them platforms. That's what I'm telling Kenyans.
Don't give them platforms.
Yeah, don't call them to your events. When they show up to your event impromptu, chase them away. If they are not doing the right thing, let them feel they are not doing the right thing at the grassroots level, not only in Nairobi.
In Nairobi. That was beautiful, Daktari. Thank you for coming.
Cheers. Resist, man.
Reject the finance bill
Reject the finance
2024.
bill, yeah.
Kwaherini bana.